talk about Arnold. Arnold? What about him? Let's talk about him. He's special to you, isn't he? I don't know what you're talking about. Well, yesterday in Mr. Simmons' class, you threw 57 spitballs at him, you stared at him the whole time, and you called him football head. Yeah, so? What's your point? That's a lot of attention to pay to someone, even if it is negative. You got a problem with that? You seem angry with him in particular. I am not angry at him. That was completely random. I was throwing spitballs at him because it was Arnold Day on my calendar. Tomorrow is Gerald Day. Or today is Gerald Day. I shot rubber bands at Gerald. Really? Okay, then. We'll move on. She's moving on. Nice recovery, Helga. Now all I have to do is stay focused. No matter what, stay away from the subject of Arnold. Now we're going to do some tests. Oh, tests? Yes, we'll start with ink blots. I want you to look at these and describe what you see. Are architecture of some kind? Are inverted soup tureen that's on fire? Hot in here. Aren't you tired of these? I mean, what do a bunch of ink blots tell you anyway? They're just ink blots. You're right. That's enough ink blots. How about we try a little word association?
That's enough ink blots.
Now I'm going to read off this list of words, and I want you to say the next word that comes to mind. Love, hate, rocket, locket, pocket, Davy Crockett, football, head. Did I say head? I mean game, football game. Monday, night football. Enough word associations. Good idea.
Wow.
Yes.
If anybody didn't know where that was from.
Yes, that was from Hey Arnold. That was from a classic episode of Hey Arnold. I could have kept going. I was actually hoping I was a little bit closer to the climax where Helga just loses her mind and goes all Tom Cruise on the couch, saying that she's head over heels over the moon for Arnold, but that would have been a little bit long. But yeah, that's Helga on the couch. Great episode.
Helga Pataki is one of the great characters of all time. She is so underrated. I mean, you could do a dissertation on Helga Pataki, and if you watch Hey Arnold, the voice acting by Francesca Marie Smith is absolutely incredible. It is a masterclass in knowing a character and just giving that character. I mean, it's one of the best. It's up there with Homer Simpson. I'm serious. Helga Pataki, so awesome.
And, really, I think there were kids. There were all kids that did, the kids of Hey Arnold, and they all did really well. The person that does like minor characters like Sid and Harold and Gerald, they all do a top-notch job. But hi guys, hi.
Welcome back to yet another episode of Bump That, episode 34.
34.
Oh, this is Bump That. This is Bump That.
Check it. This is another episode here to blow your mind. The show is Bump That, and yes, we do it all the time. So sit your booty on the floor, in the chair, ground, or in the air. Just don't go nowhere.
Whoa.
Bump That.
If you guys don't get the theme of today's episode, then you're missing a lot. It's kind of obvious.
Yeah, so if you're listening for the first time, I am your host, Ileana. We've got Brian in the corner.
Hello.
We've got KT in this corner.
Hi.
And we are siblings who love to nerd out and decided to share it all with you people. And here you are listening, so welcome. Yes, this week we're talking Nickelodeon. We are in the zone, chalk zone.
This week, 2/3 of our crew are under the weather.
Yes, that is your host over here is Ileana. I almost call myself Miss Ileana because that's my name at work. Miss Ileana. Yeah, my voice is jacked up. And Brian is also got the sniffles. Yeah.
Oh, Lord, jeez almighty.
Everybody who's a headphone user just went, and took their headphones off.
Oh, jeez almighty.
So I'll give you the rundown. We're about to jump into the news. After that, we've got some break time with each of your hosts. And then we're going into the chunk, which we'll be talking about Nickelodeon tier list. Top 15 tier episode Nickelodeon shows. So, Before that, let's go into the news.
One news thing we want to let everybody know is we hit a special tier of subscribers. Yay! Thank you guys so much for subscribing on the YouTube. We've been doing this show this is episode 34, so it's nice to see that people are trickling in for listening. So, by the way, we did promise that if we reach this certain tier of subscribers, a stunt would happen on the show, and
Brian
that would be
gonna shed a real tear.
Yeah.
Yeah, tears.
Maybe some Steve Carell, 40-year-old virgin.
Yes, Kelly Clarkson herself will be making an appearance
Oh
as
my gosh.
as live on the air of a future episode of Bump That. A portion of my beautiful sweaty chest will get waxed. Oh my goodness!
Everybody can't wait to watch that.
Get ready for the screams, everyone.
I can hear it now. Oh, it's echoing. But that's
Hey,
great.
is Joanna gonna do the yanking?
Goodness.
No, you should get Joanna to do that.
This is a family channel.
No. You should get Joanna to just do it.
I think that went over. Katie's head.
Right over Katie's
I know exactly what you're talking
No,
about.
stop it.
Anyway.
Yes, she will pull the paper that contains the wax that is attached to the hairs on my chest.
Oh, God.
Nice. Well,
Please.
that is some news. Once again, thank you guys so much for subscribing. If you have not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? We are lovely people, and we would like to have you part of our lovely people gang. So,
What?
yeah. On with the news. Suicide Squad short review. Brian.
Oh my gosh.
What do you think? You've watched it.
Yeah, and you know what? It was not worth it. Not worth it to
Really?
see it in the theaters. Listen, I love James Gunn. I think he's a fantastic director. DC, Warner Brothers, they said, go do whatever you want. They gave him the belt. They gave him everything they could. I wish they'd reined him in a little bit. This movie is just all over the place. The
Yikes.
characters are not fun or interesting. It's no Guardians of the Galaxy, that's for sure. That, you know why? That movie has both those movies have a ton of heart. This one seriously looks like it was made by just a 12-year-old boy who's just wanted to have some super violent fun. Honestly, I mean, I love DC. I love all the DC characters. I love DC villains, all that. But, I mean, I almost rather watch the regular David Ayer Suicide Squad movie. At least that one was entertaining. Not great, but at least it had surprises. This movie, I mean, it's worth a watch when it's streaming. If you have HBO Max, you can stream it. But otherwise, the movie did absolutely nothing for me. It was a real disappointment. And I think that's the reason why the box office hasn't been kind to it. It's not done really well. It's going to end up being a box office bomb. It's because it's not a fun movie. It has no joy with the characters. It's got a couple of scenes, but honestly, there's one scene with Harley Quinn where she goes crazy. And it reminded me of Guardians of the Galaxy 2 with Rocket and Yondu, Rocket and Yondu when they escape from the ship in prison. If you're
Right.
Guardians of the Galaxy, it's the same thing literally. Where it's like word for word. And it's the same director, so it's a real disappointment for me. Suicide Squad. Yeah.
You know, I was hearing
The
opposite
Suicide
reviews.
Squad.
I was hearing that the characters were interesting, that maybe not pacing wise, but that the story was interesting, that they were like, oh, who's gonna die? You know, you never know. But that's interesting. Do you know what their score is around the board, or?
I think it's mixed, across the board. I think that this movie is like, oh, who's gonna die? But I really don't care because I don't care about the characters. So
Gotcha.
it's not really like, oh, I'm in suspense over who's gonna die. Because I don't even care about who's gonna die. So yeah, you have all these interesting characters, but they're not really interesting. So it doesn't matter to me,
Yeah. Oh, that's a bummer. Well, sorry, Suicide Squad. You've been seppuku'd.
Oh no.
Next, moving on the list, we've got Avatar: The Last Airbender live action. We've got a cast.
Yeah, so we saw the casting postings. I'm not going to go through all the names and everything, but I saw the pictures of the cast, and I liked it. It looked really good. They went really young with a lot of them. For Aang looks like he could be like 9, 10 years old, which I think is
awesome.
perfect for that role. Katara, and for one thing too, they made a big effort to go with an all Asian cast. I think that's a good move on them. But if you look at it's like if you looked at the characters just by looking at the actors, Aang looks like Aang, Katara looks like Katara. That is the best Sokka because no offense to this guy, but he looks like such a dork, like just like a goofy, teenage boy trying to prove himself. That it looks spot on. And then the kid that they got to do Zuko, that's the main cast. I mean, he looks intense, but also very vulnerable. So listen. There's no Bryan Konietzko, Michael Dante DiMartino are not involved in this project at all at this point. But again, they were involved in Korra, and that shows people are split on Korra. So I'm all in though. I think if they keep going on this route, we could be in for a big surprise. I'm hoping.
And I read the article that you sent me with the cast on it, and I was actually very pleased that what it said is that the people that are making this film are doing like they're putting their passion into it. It's not just, oh, we have this property, let's see what we can do with it. Right. They're being very meticulous with what they've got, and I can appreciate that as a huge fan.
I love that. I love that. Yeah. I love that when you really take the time to put a story together, put a casting together, design, set, pre-production, that is where you make your movie, so that when you shoot the film and then when you do post, everything falls into place and you got a finished product there.
Yeah. Well, not only that, they were also saying that we get to explore the world a little bit more. And what that dictates to me is that it's not just going to be a cookie cutter version of what we've seen. We get to, literally explore more. There'll be more stories to happen. There'll be more humor, hopefully. So I'm really excited for that. I'm actually not apprehensive about it. I'm like, all right, let's see what you've got. Let's see what you're bringing to the table, to this very rich world. So I'm excited for that.
I'm looking forward to it. I really hope it doesn't let us down.
It can't be any worse than the movie.
Yeah, I've already got that one under our belt.
Yeah, now that that's out of the way, we can move on to bigger.
Anything will be better than that.
Yeah.
Oh boy. All right, and moving on, KT, there's some Pokemon news. Wow, that was bad.
Pokemon news.
Pokemon.
All right, gang. So, you want to saddle in for this one. I'm going to keep this brief, but there is a lot to unpack here. Today is August 18th, and the Pokemon Company had sort of how Nintendo has their Nintendo Directs. They had a Pokemon Direct, and they were showcasing actually they showcased a lot of games. Pokemon Unite,
Pokemon Cafe,
Pokemon Cafe
remix.
Yeah, I don't really care about those. But they're also doing.
It looked really cute, so I actually downloaded it. Pokemon Go 5-year anniversary.
Go. Yeah, and they're adding Pokemon from Sword and Shield. So that's good. But the main thing that I was so excited for, and I was not let down, was more information regarding the Diamond and Pearl remakes. They look so good. They look so good. Oh, I can't take it. Now they have the artistic stylings like Let's Go Eevee, Let's Go Pikachu, and Sword and Shield. So that's kind of like but when you're on the overworld, like a top-down view, it looks like the handheld version. But when you're in battle, it goes into that Sword and Shield version. But the main hitter, the heavy hitter, is Pokemon Legends Arceus.
Yeah,
It
that
looks
good.
it looks so good. It looks like a cartoony version of Breath of the Wild. It looks expansive. It looks like the Pokemon game that everybody's been wanting for
It's like what Sword and
years.
Shield should have been.
Yes, yes. Now, I will say this. I'm still hoping, it's still in the development stage. I'm hoping that they refine it just a little bit. It just needs that extra refining. And then it would be it would just be pristine. But I like it takes place before Pokemon and humans were like a thing together, where they coexist together. It's sort of like how we are now, where animals have their habitat and humans have theirs. And so it's before that.
Before domestication.
Yes, and so it also takes place in the Sinnoh region before it was the Sinnoh region, like old school Japan. So I love the artistic styles that they've thrown into that. But it comes out in January of next year. I believe it's January 28th of next year. Go check out those trailers, because all of those trailers, whether it's for Diamond and Pearl Remake, Pokemon Cafe, or for Arceus, man, my wallet is going to be crying for the next few months. So I'm excited for that.
All right, and for the last segment of our news, we've got Star Wars Visions. That trailer was just dropped, and wow, it looks beautiful.
Yes, it kind of reminded me of the Matrix, the Animatrix. You guys ever see that?
I did watch that.
So where it was like you had all these different animators take on a version or a spin on the Matrix franchise. So that's kind of what it looks like. You have all these different animation teams taking a crack at making a Star Wars short story and like an anthology. So I think it's gonna be really neat. Lots of different styles, animation styles, and but still that Star Wars aesthetic. So yeah, that's gonna be coming on Disney Plus. I don't know if it's gonna be if it'll be in subtitles or if it'll be dubbed into English. The trailer that we saw was in Japanese, but I'd still be willing to watch it, no problem. Absolutely.
Yeah, it looks real cool. I'm excited for that one. Just the style alone, I was like, oh yeah. I'm not even a huge fan of Star Wars. I wouldn't even call myself a fan of Star Wars, really. But that, I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna watch that.
Yeah, I think my kids would love it. I think they're slowly eking into
did
like
they watch
good anime. So
Bad Batch on Disney Plus?
No,
That
we're
one was
not
good.
that big yet into Star Wars.
Oh, that one was good. I did watch that one. Only a little bit though. Not. I watched what was released at the time when I watched it. It was good. I enjoyed it. Alrighty, and well, with that, we're out of our news segment into the little break segments of each of us. Katie, you've got some exercise time.
I do. Admittedly, I've been slacking a little bit this week in going to the gym, but I'll be going tomorrow. And this is something that I am going to be doing, and this is something that you can do at home. This is called the weighted dead bug. You can do this with weights or without, but with weights, you're obviously going to get a little bit more of an exercise. So how this works is you're going to lay on your back, and you're going to bring your arms straight up in the air, and you're going to bring your legs to a 90-degree angle, and you're going to move your left leg and your right arm back. Your leg is going to go out and your arm goes out at the same time, and then you bring it back to the starting position, and then you alternate. Your left arm is going to go back and your right leg goes out. And this is to build your core muscles as well as your arm muscles. If you have a weight, I would suggest maybe doing a 3-pound to start out with. And then as you get more accustomed to it, add a 5-pound weight. I wouldn't exceed that because that's going to be really strenuous. But one rep is when you complete both sides of your body. 1, 2, 2. And that'll really get you going. That'll make you break a sweat and get you those killer abs. Oh, yeah. So, eat local, exercise more. I guess that's my new slogan for a little bit.
There you go. Not bad to
There you
me.
go. That again is the weighted dead bug. Silly name, for killer abs.
Kill 'em. Kill those abs. All right, Brian, you got a streaming pick for us?
I do. And listen, I need to get serious with you guys, okay?
Oh Lord.
I'm gonna. This is the come to Jesus moment. All right. If you've not gotten on board with the Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul universe, stop what you're doing. We'll finish the rest of this podcast, but once you're done with that, watch the show on Netflix. I'm telling you, the Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul universe is the best television series you will watch in your lifetime. It is. It is quality TV, good acting, good screenwriting, action, comedy, dark comedy, crime, drama, everything you need for a good television show. I'm telling you, don't be a wise butt. Watch the show. If you're over 15, you can watch it from there, okay? So if my kids are listening, no, you can't watch Better Call Saul.
No,
okay?
not yet. Not yet.
Not yet. But when you are old enough, please, because it is the greatest TV show ever made. Created by Vince Gilligan. Both shows are great. I recommend watching Breaking Bad first and watching just the rise of Aaron Paul. You're like, where did Aaron Paul come from? He came from this show. Okay, and that's why he is so awesome. Watch Breaking Bad. It is just beautiful. And then go back to the prequel, which I think the sequel prequel, Better Call Saul, is even better than Breaking Bad. I'm telling you, it is the best TV show you have ever seen. Don't watch that junk on Hallmark, okay?
Whoa, you just called out our mother.
Yeah,
How
don't
dare you?
watch that. That's nonsense, okay? Come on. Watch AMC's Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. I'm calling you out, okay?
Oh my
Stop
gosh.
living your life in the gutter. It's time to watch some prestige TV. And, okay? I'm serious. Don't let me down. All right? Listen, it is a tough TV show to watch. All
I think
right?
everybody feels really called out right now.
I know.
All the
Only
moms
you
listen
can
who are like,
prevent forest fires.
but I like
serve
watching
your
my
country.
Hallmark movies.
All right, but listen, Bryan Cranston, Breaking Bad, he won so many Emmys for this show. It's because his acting is incredible. Okay, it's so dang good. Bob Odenkirk, you think he's just a funny guy from Saturday Night Live? No, he gives one of the best dramatic performances of all time as Saul Goodman. Watch it. Jonathan Banks, you've probably never even heard of him, but listen, it is probably one of the greatest performances by a character actor. The guy is 75 years old. I think he's older than that. It's a little old bald man through the run of 2 TV shows, like 9 seasons of TV, is one of the great characters of all time as Mike Ehrmantraut. Mike Ehrmantraut. Better Call Saul.
Just do it!
Just do it, please.
That's how I
be
felt
like
about
Shia.
Invincible.
Be like
Goodness
Shia and watch it.
gracious.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna come back in a few weeks, and if you guys haven't seen this show, I'm gonna be really upset. Over.
All right, Brian. So, where can I watch this show again?
It's on Netflix. Everybody has Netflix.
Lord
Watch
Almighty!
it.
It's on the freaking Netflix!
You will have it. You will have access to somebody who has it. Dang it! Watch it if you're over 15 years old.
Goodness
Watch
gracious.
it. Dang it!
Do you need like a sweat rag?
Yeah, I
No,
know.
because you know what?
He's talking
I'm
from
tired.
the pulpit.
I'm tired of people talking about all these other TV shows that are oh so great. You know, the Seinfelds,
But have you
the
ever
Cheers,
seen Friends?
Friends. Yeah,
Listen, I love Friends.
I've seen
Shut the heck
Friends.
up.
I actually
Friends
don't
is
like
great,
Friends.
but at
I
the end of
love
the
Friends.
day, Friends Breaking Bad wipes its butt with Friends. Okay.
Different genres. They're two different
Doesn't
genres.
matter. Doesn't
does matter.
matter.
Whoa.
It doesn't.
matter.
It completely does.
Whoa.
It doesn't matter.
Wait,
Is this a
No.
topic for a later date?
Friends,
Yeah,
Friends
yeah.
has like 200 episodes. 200 episodes
Okay.
of garbage.
Okay.
The,
Listen,
Yeah,
the
I'm
Better
listen,
Call
listen.
Saul universe has the Breaking Bad universe has like 100 episodes, if that, of just pure quality. Like opening like a 60-year-old bottle of scotch and cracking open the old American novel,
Guys,
and just
I wish
letting
you
that
could see-
soak into your skin.
I wish you could see his face right now. He is like,
He's like,
really into this. No. What I was saying is, that's not everybody's cup of tea. I actually had to stop watching a lot of dark shows. I was watching American Horror Story and some other show that was Orange is the New Black. I was watching those at the same time, and I just got really sad, man. I had to go watch Pokemon.
All right, but
for a
so
bit.
I know we got to get into the chunk and everything, but look,
Yeah.
this is not. You're not going to be affected. You're not going to be disturbed by the darkness of the show. I'm not going to kid you. It can be a dark show. A lot of it is about crime and drugs and all that fun stuff.
I'm sensitive,
But stop being a baby and watch it, for
Whoa.
goodness sake.
Whoa, these are some fighting
Whoa.
words. Also, that is a discussion to be had later.
Yes,
Shows
we
that
need
are
to-
better than others, even if they're not in the same genre.
We need to get into some lighter topics, like cartoons.
Yeah, so we're going to
Animation.
move
Yeah.
on.
Yes.
We're going to move on to the chunk. All right, we're talking
Go to the
Nickelodeon. Greatest shows of all time to air on Nickelodeon, whether that be not Nicktoons, live action, Nick at Night, Nick Jr., whatever, anything that has aired on the station Nickelodeon. We are going to be ranking the top 15 best shows.
And I want to kind of set the stage a little bit for what I think Nickelodeon meant for like the three of us, especially probably like Katie and I, because
Whoa. Excuse
what?
me?
Hold on, just let me get there. Let me get there, kid.
Wait a minute.
Me
wait
too,
a
though.
minute.
Me
Yeah, just let me get
too.
there, kid. All right,
Let him speak. Let him
let me
speak.
get there. All right.
What do you mean, especially Katie and I? I was there,
So-
man.
I was there. Anyways, so when Katie and I were really little kids, and we lived in Germany, we had really crappy TV. All we could watch were Disney movies on VHS tape. Right? Yeah.
Yeah, that, and I remember watching, of all things, it was Beetlejuice.
Yeah. So we had TV, but there was only one channel. It was just ABC. And so ABC, there would be in the mornings, they would show cartoons, and that was it. Then the rest of the day it'd be like soap operas and then like football. And that was in Germany, that was all the American TV we could get. But our parents would always tell us about this amazing thing in America called cable. Okay? That it was the promised land. And so
What are you guys living in Fievel?
No, I'm
Kind
serious.
of, yeah,
So,
kind of.
so it really was because
yeah.
we loved TV. We loved television. We adored it. Okay.
Gosh, you sad little kids. You guys.
So
had
I remember. Hold on.
Had.
Hold on. I remember actually going and visiting in Florida and to Puerto Rico when we went for our grandfather's funeral, and we got to watch Nickelodeon. Okay, I remember being at our Mami Rosa's house, sitting there in the living room, and there was Nickelodeon on for the kids. Okay, and it was like, what is this? Oh my gosh, can I touch it? It's right there. And it was like, and then we had to
how
leave.
dramatic.
We had to go back to Germany, back to the the wasteland of what is one channel TV. Look, some of you kids will never understand. You guys can watch TV anytime on a tablet, on your phone. You have so many channels. There's YouTube. Okay, back then there was only Nickelodeon, and if you didn't have Nickelodeon, well, you were lost. Okay.
And Mom wouldn't let me watch Captain Planet.
His
So-
tights were too tight.
So it was whenever we got to visit Florida and we got to watch Nickelodeon, it was like So good, so sweet. Come closer.
Oh my
So
gosh.
when we got to America and we finally moved to
There
America,
are
we
no
were
cats in America.
yes, we got to watch Nickelodeon and we got to watch for hours. We got to watch Maya the Bee, David the Gnome, Doug, Rugrats, all these shows. At late at night, there would be Nick at Night, and they would show classic Looney Tunes. They would show Mr. Ed, I Love Lucy. Okay, we got to experience this broad spectrum of American television. And please, if one thing America's got going for itself, it's just the beauty of its television. Nobody does television like America does, okay? So that's why we're ranking. We're going back in time to, and then way later, Ileana came into the picture.
Woohoo,
And
I was born.
there was, Fairly Odd Parents. There's the Avatars. You guys know about that. But we all watched that junk together, all of us as kids. I mean, we watched
As a family.
Okay, we did watch a lot of Cartoon Network, but we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about Nickelodeon now.
That's
Okay.
a good little intro to that.
So
and
now
what it
we're
means to
gonna,
us.
and so we're gonna, since Katie never she froze in her picture there,
Yeah.
I think, but
Oh, wow.
since Katie never ever gets to have the first pick, we decided
Middle
middle child to give her the pick here. So is she still there? Is she completely gone?
I don't know. Can you hear her? I can't hear her on my side.
She just texted me. She said I'm glitching.
Yeah, I got the same message.
So you might have to pause and
All right, we'll
Wait.
pause and just
then you can edit from there.
yeah.
Okay, you guys are. I think you guys were just like overkilling with talking.
Oh, here you are. You're back again. So I don't really have to do much.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
your
you guys are good. I think I was just
Your
You had-
picture's
and
still
I'm really delayed.
Yeah.
Your
Oh well.
picture's
Can you
still
still you
goofy.
can still hear us and we're good.
Yeah, I'm just
right.
a little delayed. Okay.
Okay, all right. So I will go. So now we give KT the first pick of the draft.
Yeah, let's get that first pick.
Man, the pressure is really on. There are. I'm a huge fan of 90s Nickelodeon. Of course, I'm a child of the 90s. And when we watched Nick at Night back in the day, they had a lot of the old shows, like Brian was saying. They had Happy Days, I Love Lucy, and I remember being maybe like 4 or 5, and at night, it was bedtime after watching I Love Lucy, and I had a realization that the cast of I Love Lucy and the Three Stooges were all dead. They weren't alive anymore. And I was like,
Jeez.
I started bawling my eyes out, and Mom asked
That's
me,
dark.
what's wrong? Yeah, and I said, Lucy's dead.
Oh my gosh.
So, as much as I would love to put I Love Lucy as my first pick,
That
My-
would be crazy.
That would be
bro.
so
that
crazy.
would, but I mean, whatever.
As your
My-
favorite Nickelodeon show, that is
It was
the
on
best.
Nickelodeon. It was on Nickelodeon. My first choice is still gonna be really weird. But once again, this was
Wow.
the glory. This is the glory days of Nickelodeon in the '90s, where you had sports shows or you had like competitions on shows. And so my first pick to kick this off is Global Guts.
Wow, good
Yes.
pick. No, it's a good
Yeah.
pick.
So
Dude.
if you don't know what Global Guts is, first you had
What-
Guts.
What's wrong with Guts? Guts was
Well, no, I'll explain.
Okay,
So first,
okay.
first you had Guts, which the show is it was a competition where it would think of like the Olympics where you have like water sports or you have to you have to climb stuff or
the aggro crag, man. You have to climb the
Yeah,
aggro
yeah.
crag at the end.
At
the
the very
super
end.
mega ultra crag, yeah.
Yeah, it had like a ridiculous name at the end.
Yeah.
Well, though the first installment of Guts was kids from the United States. Then they reached out across the world, the entire world.
Globally. Whoa.
Yes, they went global. And it was really cool. It was awesome. You had these kids all over the world competing against. It was like the Olympics for kids. And there were 3 kids that would compete at a time, and it was epic. And then you'd have kids like from, I don't know, England or Mexico or Croatia, and they would they would all compete against each other, and you're like, yeah, I'm rooting for that kid, let's go. And then he'd fail, and then it's like bump that. But it was really, really cool, and you don't see anything like that these days, which is it's a shame.
Maybe like possibly Ninja Kid Warrior, whatever that it's called.
Yeah,
that
I
might
guess.
be somewhat. That's probably the closest thing you get to it. You know.
Yeah, but there was nothing like Global Guts. It was really
No,
cool.
Guts was number 6 on mine. It was way
Wow.
up there. Yeah, I mean it was extreme sports for kids, but it seemed like you could do it too. Like it was a lot of fun. You know, like these kids weren't just like, I mean, they were athletes, but they were like doing really fun stuff.
I
you
had
know?
And it was.
I have a feeling these lists are going to be showing our age because you're picking all
Oh,
of these shows
absolutely.
from like early 90s or whatever.
Listen to me. You would come home, or actually not even, you would be at home in the summertime, in the middle of the day. Okay, it's super hot. You can't go outside. You go and you watch Mike O'Malley introducing
Yeah.
Guts, okay? And it was so awesome, okay? It was, I don't know, there's just something about, back in the 90s, there were a lot of TV shows where kids would be in competition, and it was fun. It was so fun to watch.
And you were really super jealous of those kids too. You wanted to be one of those kids.
You wanted to get slimed. Nickelodeon
Yeah,
slime.
Absolutely. So that is Global Guts to kick things off. All right, who's number 2? Who's
Brian.
number 2?
That's me.
And
All right.
I think we need to spend less time on these. We're racking
Yeah.
up minutes.
All right, here we go. Okay, this show put Nickelodeon on the map for not just kids, but for everybody. This was a show that made everybody stop and think, whoa, who is this show? What is this show? And what's really cool about this show is when it came out, it introduced us to a bunch of performers and actors and actresses that would go on to just be a big part of our lives for like the next 20 years. Okay?
Barney.
No, that show is All That. All That, when it
Yeah.
premiered, the original All That was where it's at. It came out on Saturday nights, just like Saturday Night Live.
Sick.
It had all these awesome skits. Super Dude, Good Burger.
Totally
Okay.
Kyle.
You know,
Well, that wasn't
Ama-
the original. No,
Aman-
that was the Amanda Show.
Oh,
yeah,
you're right.
that's
Oh, man.
yeah. See, that's a spin-off. Okay,
Yeah, but
that's
it still came from that.
Amanda
Actually-
Bynes, Ask Ashley, all
And
that.
actually, let me interject. I was thinking about putting the predecessor to All That. Let's see if you remember what that's called.
Roundhouse.
Roundhouse. I was thinking about putting Roundhouse. That actually kicked off All That. But All
Roundhouse
That
was a little bit too hip and too edgy.
yeah.
So there was a lot of dancing, boys and girls dancing. So I was like,
And all that, was there the library segment in that one?
yes.
Oh,
Yes,
that
the
was so good.
librarian.
Miss
This is a
Lori Beth
library.
Denberg. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm seeing you got Keenan Thompson, you had Amanda Bynes, you had Lori Beth Denberg, Kel Mitchell. You had these guys introduced here that would have
Brian Server.
huge careers. Josh Savage, I think his name was, Detective Dan. I mean, all these different bits.
like your
Repair
nerdy,
man.
it's like your nerdy middle school, high school thespians that you're like, bro, these guys are such dorks, but they had the
Aw,
best
come on.
time.
No, it was. I was so jealous.
you
I wanted
liked
to
them,
hang
though.
out with these guys.
You thought
They
they,
were
were
so
so
cool.
cool.
And then they would have Boys to Men, Naughty by Nature.
Oh yeah.
All these musical acts in there. Early '90s R&B stuff that your mom and dad would listen to, that they would listen to, and it'd be a total okay. All that, dude. There's nothing like it. Nothing wherever will be. It's the best. Everything with Nick now, with all the shows that they do, Hannah Montana, all that, it all like it's part of the tree
It really is.
of all
Really
that.
is.
So move on. Ileana, you got the next pick.
I have what I think beats both of yours hands down. Nickelodeon gave us the best show of all time. SpongeBob SquarePants.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I knew
that's
you were gonna pick that.
That's good. I'm glad somebody put it up there.
I definitely would have chosen Avatar: Last Airbender if it wasn't for the longevity and I mean just like the skyrocketness of SpongeBob SquarePants.
That was our bathroom for 3 years.
I still have the trash can. And I remember
1999.
I remember
1999.
I was born in 1997. 2 years later, we are living in Louisiana, and I remember on our crappy little TV watching the
very first
very first episode air on TV of SpongeBob, and it took off from there.
It was in the summer.
Like, oh my gosh, that show has just done so much for animation, and the inside jokes. Bro, they go on forever. You can quote that show literally in every aspect of your life.
I'm ugly and I'm proud. I'm ugly and I'm proud.
If you meet
Is
somebody
that what he calls it?
You meet somebody who doesn't get a SpongeBob reference, man, you're not my friend. Hardly my friend at all. I don't know you.
What, you go to church or something?
Oh man,
God.
that show is just phenomenal, and the voice actors, the artists that put so much effort and time behind making that show, the time for
so good, dude.
Making that show was really hard, and those people went through horrible conditions, which actually kind of sucks about the way that the show was made, but it was a labor of love, in my opinion. They did such phenomenal work, and it's just impacted animation and funny cartoons to this day, and it's still living on. So my pick goes to SpongeBob SquarePants.
Nice. Speaking of longevity, this is one that is near and dear to Ileana. I bet that this one is going to be on her list. Okay, so, here Ileana was saying, oh, I was there. Oh, I was there. Well, here you go. This one is for Ileana. My second pick is Blue's Clues.
I was there for that.
I was there! Talk about longevity. Everybody remembers Steve Burns as being the main guy. You know that they've gone through, like,
Hey, we're supposed to be doing,
people.
like, the theme songs for each of our picks.
Nobody wants to hear me sing right now. Trust me.
There aren't any words for the Blue's Clues theme.
When we use our minds, take a step at a time, we can do anything that we wanted to.
I watched so much Blue's Clues.
Yeah, and while it's not one of my favorite shows, obviously this is a Nick Jr. show, and by the time that it came out, I was a little bit past the Nick Jr. phase.
But I wasn't.
No, so I still had to endure it. It's still a huge phenomenon. Kids still recognize Blue. The paw print, Blue's,
The
just
crayon.
like Mr. Salt,
The
Mr.
crayon.
Pepper.
You wanted Steve's crayon, man.
Yes,
and his journal.
the songs are really catchy. We just got a letter.
It was a good
We just
format.
got a letter.
The whole
Yeah.
format of it was really good. Yeah.
And it was educational. In fact, I still, when I think about, this is going to sound really dumb. I'm self-aware. Whenever I think about the solar system, I sing the song that he sings. Well, the sun's a hot
yeah,
star,
I can't believe I don't
and
remember
Mercury's
that song.
hot too. Venus is the brightest planet, and
Earth's home to me and you.
Mars is the red one, and
Jupiter's most wide.
Saturn's
got those icy rings, and Uranus spins on its side. Neptune's really windy.
No, not Neptune.
And this is probably when Pluto was still a planet. Oh, bro.
And Pluto's really small. Well, we wanted to
Wanted
name
to
the
name
planets,
the planets.
and now we've
the
named
plants.
them all.
What?
I said the planets.
I heard plants.
You would. All right,
All right, next
so,
we gotta
Blue's
keep going.
Clues. Go.
Okay, next one. Okay, this is the creme de la creme of Nicktoons. It's almost so sad we haven't done a Nicktoons yet, because the Nicktoons is what Nickelodeon is. Well, SpongeBob's a Nicktoon, but this is one of the OG. This is the OG Nicktoon. I was never a big Ren and Stimpy fan. Rugrats was great and everything, but at the end of the day, I was always a Doug fan, and Doug is my pick. Doug Funny, Life in Bluffington. I was Doug growing up. I was Doug so much, and I was the new kid that moved into the town, had a crush on the girl who wouldn't give me any time. Doug is where Doug is. Mwah. That's all I have to say. So if you want to keep going, I mean, that's it. Doug is
No,
beautiful.
that's pretty good, Doug. Yeah, I remember. You guys could gush all day about Doug. You guys have gushed all day about Doug.
All right, enough gushing. Go on.
All right. And this one, you guys all see coming. Avatar is my next pick.
Yep.
Absolutely one of the most perfect franchises to have ever been made. We have talked, in length about this show. I could go on forever. Perfect characters, perfect storytelling, world building. Amount of episodes. That's one big thing for me, is that it didn't go on forever. It ended exactly when it needed to, and all the episodes were exactly how they needed to be.
I feel like it's kind of just the thing about Avatar is that you have this awesome show, prestige show that comes out of nowhere on this kids network. That's to me, that's one of the biggest things about Avatar, is that you had, you put Avatar, this, I mean, it could be this awesome, it's one of the most amazing stories right next to SpongeBob. That's the thing about it,
And if you look at the time that it came out in 2005, and the shows that were out at that time were nothing like it. Like you had
exactly, yeah.
You had My Life as a Teenage Robot. I think that was around that time.
You had Fairly Odd Parents still going strong. You had SpongeBob.
Yeah.
You had
SpongeBob on repeat.
Yeah,
that was
and
pretty much it.
There was just nothing that in depth storytelling going on, and we've talked about that before. So
go check out our other Avatar videos.
Yes, please do. Maybe I'll link them down in the description. If I don't, well, that's sad.
Ooh.
So yeah, that's my pick, Avatar.
All right,
Katie.
so my next pick, Brian is going to have a field day over this one. So this one, I think, is grossly underrated. Whenever this theme sound came on, it was like a freaking party in the house, just with the theme song alone. And when I say the word, Brian's gonna freak. It is Kablam! Yeah, bringing ska to your home for the first time. For people that didn't know what ska was, well, there it is.
Honestly, everybody knew what ska was in the 90s.
I think about Kablam now, and now I think it's like, oh my gosh, this is like a pothead's dream. It's like a pothead show for kids.
We don't do that on Bump That. But Bump That. Kablam was an interesting show. It was like an amalgamation of a lot of things. But the premise is, it's a comic book. You start out as a comic book, and you have two hosts, Henry and June. And they would do, quirky things while they would introduce the next segment, such as Sniz and Fondue. You'd have Action League Now, Life with Loopy, Prometheus and Bob. Those were the main shows that you would see. Those were the main things that you'd see.
Oh, man, I forgot about Prometheus and Bob.
Oh, my gosh, the Prometheus and Bob tapes. So, along with that, you would have little segments from, it was kind of like Oh Yeah Cartoons, in which they were experimental. And Oh Yeah Cartoons, if you don't know, is actually where the Fairly Odd Parents came from. So you'd have these little 2-minute long segments of a short. And they were very different from each other. So you had these different mediums within this show. You had Action League Now were toys. They were literal action figures that they would, just animate moving.
Stop motion.
They were stop motion, yeah. And then I guess it was stop motion. And then you also had animated things such as Sniz and Fondue. But then you also had, puppet stuff with Life with Loopy. And even within that show, they would go from, paper things to actual puppets. So it was really, really weird. Very 90s. Very cool show. That is Kablam.
All right, next. I think one thing that was really cool about Nickelodeon is how they just really focused on kids and things that kids like. So you would see, well, there was a lot of programming in Nickelodeon that had kids doing activities. You know, whatever. There was kids pick the president. Remember the game show where kids would like have like 2 minutes to get a shopping cart and run around a like KB or a Toys R Us and pick as many toys as they could or
Oh
junk.
my gosh, yes.
And that was like, you wanted that. You wanted to have that experience because that looked just like so much fun.
I
But
can feel the Nerf guns in my hands right
Yeah,
now.
my goodness.
but the peak of that though, about kids like getting out there and doing fun stuff to win prizes, to win a bike, to win a boombox, to win a trip to Universal Studios in Florida to watch a live taping of a show, was Double Dare. Double Dare was the culmination of kids doing stuff to win stuff, and it was a fun show. Slime, Ooze, Questions, Mark Summers, one of the most underrated TV show hosts of all time. So, just a really classic. Double Dare was through the 80s, it was through the 90s, it got resurrected again because it's such a fun show of kids.
It's just a
doing
great
really,
concept.
It's just, why do they not make more game shows for kids? I just don't understand it, because it's a blast being able to put yourself in a situation because when you're a kid, all you do is school and that's it. Everything else is boring. But when you can do something that's outside the box, like be like on Double Dare, and maybe win some prizes, that is what it's all about as a kid. Double Dare.
Yeah, I love Double
That's
Dare.
a good pick.
To piggyback on that really quick, because I don't think this is... Well, I'm not going to say that. Never mind. Just go. Go.
All right. Wow. My next pick is going to be... This one's kind of hard. But I'm going to go Drake and Josh.
Really?
Whoa!
Are you serious?
Oh
Just
my
like-
god!
Really?
I'm going Drake and Josh, and here's
Wow.
why.
Wow.
Millennial!
Yeah, what can I say?
I mean, okay, go on.
So,
Didn't even make my top 20. Jeez.
why I like that show so much was I just love those two characters together. You have Josh, who is the, oh, we gotta follow the rules and we gotta do this and that and, blah, 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 blah. And then you've got Drake who's like, chill out, we're just gonna go do this thing and whatever, and it's gonna happen this way, and if it doesn't, who cares, And the fact that they just have to live together and they have to go to school together and you see all their crazy antics. Every episode was just marvelous. And I love their connection together. They love each other. What is it?
Hug me forever!
And also being very close with like my siblings. It's also, and bickering and fighting.
Aww.
Oh, so touching. It also, fills that little part where it's like, I'm gonna kill you, but I also love you. So my pick is going to Drake and Josh.
Ooh, man. I will say, I like Keenan and Kel better. But that's not my next pick.
Thought
That's
it would
not my
be
next pick.
so simple, but
Found a way.
There you
Found
go.
a way. All right. So my next pick, I can't decide. I'm gonna let you guys be my next pick. Do you guys want me to pick another Nicktoon or live action? I'll let you guys decide.
Such a loaded question.
go Nicktoon.
Go Nicktoon. You're gonna steal one of mine.
Whew, all right. So a Nicktoon, dadgummit. I'm just gonna say it. The Angry Beavers.
No! Why
Yes.
would you pick that? No!
Yes.
Why?
Yes.
Katie, the Angry Beavers is not in the top 10.
It is in my list.
That's
No,
so
you ruined the
Listen,
draft.
if she gets Drake and Josh, then I get to pick the blasted
He's
Angry
like hanging
Beavers.
over his chair like he's dead.
Listen, I know that there are better shows such as Rugrats, Hey Arnold. Yes, I am aware. However,
You have disrespected the Nickelodeon gods,
Our
man.
top 10 has the Angry Beavers.
yes,
And
it
Drake
sure
and
does.
Josh. We
So-
have also Blue's Clues, mind you.
Well, there's a reason for that. So, the Angry Beavers. Let me tell you about the Angry Beavers. So, it is extremely silly. It is so silly, but not only that, it may be a nostalgic pick because when you heard the theme song, when Brian and I heard the theme song, we and I would just both dance our little fannies off. He was Norbert, the
yellow
blonde,
one.
yeah, the yellow beaver, and I was Daggett, I guess because I had a short fuse. I still have a
so
short fuse.
cranky.
Yeah. So, and Brian, liked to try to be the cool guy, which that was Norbert, and I was just like, no, I know what I am. I'm not cool.
Wagging your finger.
I'm the rat. I'm the rat. And so, again, you have a mixture of mediums within the show. So they like to watch a lot of black and white shows, and it is so funny. It is so funny what they do with these black and white shows as they're watching them. But apart from that, when you actually watch the episodes, they are just so daggum funny. And they're a way to just, like, chill out and just veg. It's a show about nothing. And I guess that's why I like it. It's just really silly. It's very colorful. And you've got all these other woodland creatures in it, like Barry the Bear, and it's just a lot of fun. So I'm sorry, Brian, I had to do it.
She did
Angry
it.
Beavers.
She went there.
I did it. No apologies.
Oh man.
All right, so go
Brian.
ahead and whip out, Hey Arnold. Go ahead and whip out Rugrats, or, Bloody, whatever it is. Let me hear it.
He's got his next pick.
He's so mad right now.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I want to apologize for my sister, and I will never make that mistake of allowing her to have the first pick again.
Oh man, you're not allowed anymore. You're banned.
Okay, the pick that should be where Angry Beavers is Hey Arnold. Thank you very much.
I'm surprised
Okay.
she didn't pick Hey Arnold first.
I thought Brian was going to say it first.
As
You
much
would
as she
think.
loves Hey Arnold and quotes it, you would think she that was literally our freaking opener today.
Well,
and she
I
decided to go Angry Beavers.
Listen, I didn't want to put the obvious up front. Because everybody knows that Avatar is my favorite.
Okay.
You gotta go with your heart, man. Anyways, Hey Arnold,
Listen to your heart.
created by Craig Bartlett, one of the great ensemble shows. Just look, it was about life in the city,
Arnold.
jazz,
Arnold.
Grandpa, Gerald, Harold, Monkey Man, Stoop Kid,
Stoop Kid.
Big Bob's Beavers.
Oh, what was the guy who lived in the attic? Arnold for a bit, whose wife kicked him out.
Oh, Mr.
Oscar.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Oscar.
Hey Arnold.
What was his wife's
You
name?
got another?
What was his wife's name? He was like, Olivia, please
no,
let me
it was,
come back.
Oh, no, I'm gonna...
Make me a sandwich.
Yeah.
No, Oscar, make your own self a sandwich. But I can't.
Yeah.
Listen, everything we're talking, I'm tilting right now. I am, because Hey Arnold should be respected with the spot above,
man.
but we gave it a stupid Angry Beavers. Look, Hey Arnold actually had 2 movies come out, okay?
Were they
It
any
had
good? The answer is no.
Where are the
Yeah,
Angry
oh,
Beavers?
They were
what?
not. They
Crazy.
were not good movies. They were not good movies. No.
Are you?
No, I'm serious. I did not like either of those movies. I maybe liked the Jungle one, the newer one, but I did not like the first one at all. I did not.
Whoa.
Okay, Hey Arnold was a very in-depth, profound. It wasn't just surface level comedy. There was a lot of emotion in that show.
Do we need to disqualify Katie?
Why don't we just switch the picks? Okay,
No,
if
just
that'll
no,
make it
no,
better.
because that's not
Because
how it
what's
works. We
happened,
gotta follow the
happened.
rules. But I'm just gonna say one thing. Okay? Watch the Helga Pataki episode where she's a little kid having to walk herself to school. That's it.
That's Helga on the couch.
Yeah.
Just watch Helga on the couch.
Just watch that, and this show would almost beat everything we've talked about. Okay? I can't believe it right now. Angry Beavers, man.
Yeah. Listen,
That's
I like
great.
what I like. Okay.
Look, just Watch
right.
that, and it will change your mind.
All right, it's my turn, is it not?
Oh my god.
Go for it.
All right. My next turn is actually going to make some sense. And I'm going to go with Fairly Odd Parents.
Okay.
That one makes sense. That one should be in the top 15. All right? That show. We've got our guy. Oh gosh, our guy. Should we even name him? He's got a lot of controversies.
You mean Butch?
Yeah,
You mean
Butch
Butch
Hartman.
Hartman?
Yeah, he's got a lot of Anyways, Butch Hartman, he is the creator of The Fairly Odd Parents. He has made some other amazing shows, but this one especially, the first one that you said was on, what was that? What was that cartoon show? The first one that
Oh,
they
yeah,
aired on.
cartoons.
Oh, yeah, cartoons. Started there, actually got cleared to become a legit TV show. And wow, just sitting every day after school watching The Fairly Odd Parents. Good memories. The characters are great. Cosmo is probably my favorite character. He is an idiot, and he knows it. So does Wanda, his lovely wife. All the characters are great. Fairy World is great. The parents, it was just the whole trope of my parents are idiots and I'm smarter than everybody. And every kid thought that. Every kid was like, my parents are dumb, I'm smart. So it was literally just living that whole story out and seeing this kid get every wish that he ever wanted. And those were good times. So Fairly Odd Parents.
All right. So.
All right, let's speed it up. Let's speed it up now.
All right. My next pick is less controversial. Okay.
Oh my God.
Less
Sure?
controversial. I'm going there. It is Keenan and Kel.
Okay.
that's on my
I am
list.
going to
That
pick
was on
Keenan
mine.
and Kel.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Keenan and Kel, Kel Mitchell, Keenan Thompson. They went from all that to having their
here it goes.
Yeah. Coolio in the music or the opener. Oh, that's so good. It was so
That's
hip.
good.
It started out. Yeah, why? It started out as excuse me, a show on Snick, Saturday Night Nick. And I think it was I don't even know what else to say. It was just hilarious. It was hilarious. And you cared about these two characters. You had Keenan that was, the troublemaker. He would always concoct these ridiculous schemes to either get money or try to get a girlfriend or get out of something. And Kel, he would kind of be the voice of reason a bit, but he was also really, really goofy. But Keenan also worked at the little shopping area. It was like a, what do you call that? Like a mini mart. Anyway, a grocery store. It was a grocery store.
Yeah, it was like the
but it was
corner
very-
store.
Yeah, it was very small. But you also got to be involved with their families, and I thought that was really nice to see as well. And in fact, there was this one episode where Keenan was moving away, and it was a two-parter, and Brian and I were like, "Oh my gosh, this is it! They're never coming back together," and we were like about to cry, because the last scene was Kel going to their house, but the house was empty, and he had like a picture of both of them that he was gonna give to Keenan as like a going away thing, and Brian and I were like, what? No, what? And so that's also where for a bit my love for orange soda came from. Who loves orange soda? Kel loves orange soda. Is it true? I do.
Oh my god.
In fact, my last thing, that show was so great when it came to orange soda. Kel drank so much orange soda that his insides were orange. He went to the doctor and got an x-ray and it came back orange. I mean, stuff like that. That's just great.
Good TV. Good TV
Good
right
TV.
there.
Yeah.
All right, Brian.
All right.
This is your last pick, isn't it?
All right. I'm looking at my list, and man, there's a few good ones on here. I could go the obvious ones, but I'm gonna be like Katie and go a little bit left field.
Oh,
but
boy.
even though my left field will still make sense.
Angry Beavers.
Hey, I do not regret. No regrets. No regrets.
No, I'm gonna go. Let's go. Legends of the Hidden Temple.
I was gonna pick that. That's been on my list too. Dang it.
I mean, again,
Wow.
It was a game show featuring kids. It was a lot of fun. Just don't be silver snakes because they were cursed, literally. If you
No.
watched that show, you knew. But it was again, typical Nickelodeon game show. You had all these kids on teams that would have to do obstacles or trivia to get to the temple. And every kid wanted to explore that temple because it was both really cool looking, but also scary as fudge. Because you had these temple guards that were just some beefed out cake dudes that would just come out of nowhere and just
They would
take
like
you
grab
away.
the kids.
Yeah, they didn't mess around. They would grab the kid and take him away into the deep, dark jungle, never to be seen again. But it was a great, it was such a fun, one of the like perfect summer Nickelodeon shows where you just, as a kid, you just put that on and veg out, bro.
What was hilarious is that in hindsight, when we would watch it as kids, you could see what was like the outer portion of the temple, but obviously the kids couldn't see where they were going. It was almost like a maze that you had to figure your way out.
Yeah.
And so you could look in and see, where the people were hiding. And we're like, don't go that way, stupid! Why are you going that way? Don't go through that door! Oh, you got caught, idiot! I told you not to go that way. So
Oh gosh, the name
I
calling.
mean, we were screaming at the TV. We were all
And you know
screaming.
what? And they didn't take it easy. The maze was tough. Like,
Yeah.
I would say, 80% of people didn't make it. They got caught and they ran out of time.
The teams were in groups of 2. You had 2 kids on a team, and if the first kid failed, then the next kid could go.
Yeah. But a lot of them didn't make, because you had to find like all these things. It was a great show. YouTube it if you ever get a chance. Classic episodes.
All right.
And
Ileana.
here we are to number 15 to close out this week's episode. Guys, I am really struggling to pick right now because I don't want it to be out of left field. I don't want to get yelled at.
Just do it, man. Just do it.
And
You want
but
to.
I also have such good ones here. Like, do I go for a cartoon or do I go for a live action? I'm like,
I say go for a Nicktoon, because the last live action you picked was Drake and Josh.
Okay, well, I don't know if it's gonna be. Are they considered all Nicktoons if they're just animated?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's
Yeah.
fine.
Okay. Well. Oh boy, this is hard.
Is it Nick Jr.? Just go for it, man. Go for it. Is
Okay.
it? Can I guess?
Maisie.
Are you? No, I was gonna. I actually had Maisie on my list, but I took it off.
I did too.
What
Is
do you
it
think?
Franklin?
No, it's not Franklin.
Oh, okay.
It is actually Dora the Explorer.
No, that's a good one.
Dora.
That's
Dora.
That's a good one.
I watched so much Dora back in the day. I wanted to be Dora. I was the Puerto Rican version of Dora. I had the bangs. I had the little short haircut. In my yearbook, my senior year yearbook, I had Dora's haircut, unfortunately. And
I thought you were gonna say that was your senior quote.
No, they called me Dora in my yearbook. That is my name. Oh, and Katie drops her mic.
Oh Lord.
It goes flying.
Oh, jeez.
I wanted to be Dora. I wanted the book bag, the backpack. I wanted backpack. Yay! I wanted the map. I wanted to swipe or no swiping. Boots the monkey was my best friend. All right. So Dora the Explorer is closing out our top 15 best Nickelodeons.
All right,
tier list.
my last interjection. The other day, Mom was dressed exactly like Dora, and I called her out on it. I
And she
said,
knew
Mom,
it. She knew exactly she was dressed
I
like
was
Dora.
like, what in
but
the world is going
Dora
on?
had, it had that whole, okay, this is for any kid that can watch it. And also, learn some Spanish while you're at it. Like, that's so cool. I don't know. I'm a fan of that. Teaching kids.
No, that's a good one.
Because
It was a solid show.
years later, you have, like, Ni Hao Kai Lan. So it kind of, like, started the ship going for other languages. So you have Chinese, and I don't know if there's any others now, but, Dora. Dora is it. She's a great lady.
So next week, we will continue with the final 15 all-time
Yeah.
Nickelodeon shows. But here's our top 15. Number 1, Global Guts, all that. SpongeBob SquarePants, Blue's Clues, Doug, Avatar: The Last Airbender, Kablam, Double Dare, Drake and Josh, Angry Beavers, Hey Arnold, The Fairly Odd Parents, Keenan and Kel, Legends of the Hidden Temple, and Dora the Explorer.
Wow, what a list. I would say it's... I think I made it good. Yours were very obscure.
Yes.
But, like, you and Brian and Katie...
Obscure?
You guys
Do you
had some
mean
more obscure
old
ones.
school?
Yeah, some old school ones. That people
Some
would be like...
1993, baby.
Who,
Yeah.
Who is, who dat, you know? I don't know.
So that's it for this week's show. Please like us, subscribe us. Let us know your favorite picks. What you guys watch Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
What do you currently watch on Nickelodeon if you currently watch Nickelodeon?
That was something interesting that I was looking at the list of all the TV shows. After like 2013, I was like, what are any of these shows? Like, it stopped right at Legend of Korra for me. I'm like, I don't know any of these. I know The Loud House. I've never seen a single episode though. Who are these shows? So if you're watching current Nickelodeon, let us know how it is. I just don't know.
Let us know. But we'll be back for episode 34 next. 35.
35.
Right.
This is episode 34 currently.
So episode 35 next week. But we'll hope to see you soon, guys. Thank you
guys
so much
for listening, and we'll see you guys in next week's episode. Bye-bye.
Bye.